Welcome, everyone, to another exciting conversation leading up to the 2025 District 103 Toastmasters Annual Hybrid Conference. I am thrilled to introduce a dynamic leader, trainer, and communicator who's no stranger to impact. He is all about impact. He's a three-time distinguished Toastmaster, an accomplished author, keynote speaker, trainer, and podcast host of Born to Speak to You. Please welcome Calvin Gibbs Jr. to the channel. How are you, Calvin?
I'm doing well, Valerie. Thank you for having me this afternoon. It's great to be here.
That's great. And as you know, the conference is coming up so fast. I mean, it's next week. I mean, how are you feeling about this year's conference?
Well, I'm excited about the conference. I always think that these annual conferences is similar to a family family homecoming. You have everybody coming together, and you have a chance to see people you haven't maybe seen in the last year. There's fun, there's education, there's a lot of networking going on, a lot of laughs, and I'm so much looking forward to it this year.
That's great. And I'm happy to have you on board because I am excited about what you're going to be talking about because
Mm,
I know in District 103, the big word today is engagements because we all know that's one phrase, life be lifing. But however, to get away from all the drama, Toastmasters is the place to be to get away from all the noise because why you're training to become a better leader, a better speaker. And so I just think it's been, a great organization and a great journey. So I want to ask you, Calvin, you've been deeply engaged in Toastmasters for 12 years, holding a club officer role in every single year. And then what has fueled that level of consistency, that commitments in your leadership?
well, that's a great question. One thing is that I always want to continue to learn. Okay. I started very green with the communication game, and I learned, I asked questions, I had mentors, and I grew. And now that I have been involved for 12 years, my main mission is to help somebody else, either by sharing my story with them or sharing how they can get started, how they can get better, how they can stay engaged as well.
Exactly. And one thing you said was having a mentor. I believe that every club should have a mentoring development program because I believe having that program does increase engagement. It keeps you involved, it keeps you focused on writing effective speeches, and it just keep you, like you said, consistent. And then you
Mhm.
start seeing the growth within the organization because Toastmasters is a great organization. And so I tell a lot of people is what you put into it as well. And I do see that level of consistency with you, and I've seen you grow over the years since I've been a Toastmaster since 2011. So then my next question for you, at this year's district conference, you're presenting a session, which I think is awesome. I love it. It's called We're Engaged, No Ring, Just Leadership Bling. That
Yeah.
title definitely grabs attention. I mean, it does. Tell us what inspired it and what is the session about?
Well, the Toastmasters year started July 2024, on July 1st. And I always try to tap into what the catchword is going to be, the catchphrase for the year. And I kept hearing from not only District 103, but some other districts, engagement. So as a professional speaker, I started working on a package for a presentation about engagement. And I've workshopped it. I've gotten feedback. I've done workshops. I've gotten the kinks out of it. So this is going to be the best version of it. Now, the last thing that I did in January, I said I need to fix the title. The title is not catching me. I don't feel it. It was We're Engaged, Foundations of Leadership, something like that. And that wasn't catchy enough for me. So I played around. I actually did a survey of some focus group people, and they came close to We're Engaged, no ring, just leadership blame. The leadership
Yes.
blame comes in because as a leader, I've always wanted to get those trophies, those certificates, those banners, that acknowledgement. And with this program, I'm going to share how we can all be engaged, no ring,
Mhm.
but we can get whatever perks come with being a leader. So that's where it
Heck,
comes in.
that's awesome. Yeah, when I saw that, I thought that was really, it had a great catch to it. And, because people are really looking for that engagement. And like you said, when you do get that, the actual acknowledgement, for completing a pass or a DTM, you do look for that pin. I mean, I do got my 100-year pin here, and it's blinging too, as well.
That's right.
But I just think it's great when you get that acknowledgement, and that's what really increases engagement. And speaking of engagement, of course, I want you to explain to the attendees today why they should make it a priority to attend this year's District 103 Toastmasters Annual Hybrid Conference on April 25th through 26th.
Well, first of all, and I do have maybe 4 or 5 different reasons. But first of all, this should be a priority for everybody to come to because one, there's going to be world-class speakers. In back of Valerie right now, you can see keynote speaker Jocelyn Tyson,
Mhm.
excuse me, and
Uh-huh.
Serena Vest is going to be there as a guest speaker as well. Both powerful keynote speakers. They're going to have sessions that's going to stretch your thinking, boost your confidence, and level up your communication and leadership skills. Next, you'll have an opportunity to network with like-minded professionals. Okay, a lot of our connections is all about networking. This conference is going to be a great place to do that, and you can witness the best of the best. One of the events going on is going to be the District International Speech Contest. Okay, you can watch our contestants, top speakers in our district, compete at the highest level. It's entertaining, it's it it's energizing, and it's deeply motivating as well. And of course, we talked about the workshops. There are going to be some very interactive workshops. Okay. And there's really no excuse not to go. It's going to be a hybrid event, hybrid access. So if you can't make it in person, join virtually and you can still get top notch content and engagement. There's that word again from
Yes.
wherever you are. Those are the reasons. Yes.
Thank you for sharing that because it's very engaging. I mean, virtual or in person, because
Hmm.
we have a packed agenda. I mean, when I say it's packed with a lot of knowledge that everybody's going to take away when they leave this conference. And that's the most important thing is when you go to a conference like Toastmaster, oh my God, you're just going to leave with a wealth of information. And speaking of your session explores on 3 types of engagement from team, community, and
And self.
also, huh?
And
Can you,
self.
yeah. Now, can you break it down how each contributes to great leadership in Toastmasters and beyond?
I absolutely can. And I would use myself as an example. Let's
Mm-hmm.
start with the self-engagement. Okay, to last for 12 years in anything, you have to be engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to be engaged. I have been an officer of all the clubs that I've been in for all 12 years. So I'm engaged. I've been a district leader. I am a preferred trainer. So I'm engaged. I help people, I train people, I mentor people. Self engagement is very important to me. I motivate myself. Some people ask, as a motivational speaker, how do you get motivated? I get motivated by helping others. When I can do that, I feel energized and I'm ready to go. The next thing is team engagement. Okay, team
Mhm.
engagement. Going to your club, helping your club become a president's or distinguished club, being engaged with that, being engaged in your district, finding ways that you can contribute, thinking outside the box, especially these days, is key. Try to find new ways of doing that icebreaker speech that we have to do so many times with
Yes.
each path. Find creative ways to do that and share it with your club. And then finally, there's community engagement. Okay. We need to get outside of our clubs and let the world know that we're here, we're doing great things, and we can interact with them. The clubs, whether it's a corporate club or a community club, is in a central area around a community. Why not build upon that? Reach out to the community, tell them about what we have going on, try to be a part of what they have going on, and guess what? It's a win-win. Those are the three steps that I will be talking about as far as engagement. There can be no engagement without action. If I want to get
Exactly.
married, I'm gonna get down on that one knee and I'm gonna say, I love you, will you marry? There's an action that has to take place. And so we're gonna talk about the engagement. We're engaged, no ring, but leadership bling.
Yes. I like that because I like the fact that you said that one word, action.
Hmm.
Because one thing about Toastmasters has always been an organization of doing. Because if you don't do the speaking, if you don't become the leader in your club, like a club officer, how do you build that leadership muscle? How do you build that communication muscle? You have to build. A lot of people don't like to say those filler words like, you know. However, if you just keep practicing and like you said, action, oh my God, it's just going to be just that great of a speaker and great leader. And since you
That's
were
right.
on that note, as a preferred trainer in District 103, what's been your approach? You talked about how you help people, but what is your approach to helping others grow as a speaker and leaders? And then what lights you up when you train or present?
Well, I love the training where I can kind of freestyle what I want to train them in and how I want
Mhm.
to train them. I have been in six of the seven officer positions. I've
Mhm.
never been a treasurer. So for some reason, they don't let me get near the money. But but I have been in and trained in all of the other six officer roles. And my thing is to set expectations correctly in the first half of the year, letting them know what to expect, okay? How to use their resources. I think that's major because that's going to help them stay engaged and help
Exactly.
the club, okay? Uh, and then in the second half, we deep dive into what went right, what went wrong in the second half.
Mhm.
Okay, by the second half of the year, if you re if you relate it to football, it's like the third quarter. Okay, it's
Yes.
time to okay. You may be behind the game in points at this time, but now it's time to get some plays to get to the fourth quarter to end the fourth quarter strong. And we talk about having open houses, ways to get guests in, how to keep the club strong. If there's any areas where you might be lacking, how to build that up. And that's what I love the most, having a collaborative conversation with those officers.
That's awesome. I like
Yeah,
that because,
yeah,
like you said, that increases engagement big time.
yeah, yeah.
And we need that collaboration because when we have the competent leadership manual, that chart, you had to do a newsletter, you had to do an open house, a membership. And so if we can get our members to come together and do that, and because you are a preferred trainer, and I'm pretty sure you're doing this in your club and getting people involved and things of that nature. But that's why we say Toastmasters, what you put into it. If you're
That's
just
right.
gonna sit there and just watch everyone else, you're paying $60 just doing nothing, but you have to do something. And again, that one word you mentioned before, action. This
Action. That's
last
right.
this last question is going to be really the kicker.
Mm.
You earned the DTM not once, not twice, but 3 times. What would you say to someone who thinks DTM is too hard or too far away? And what kept you going to earn 3 DTMs?
Well, I would first of all, I would tell that person, don't give up.
Mhm.
When I first joined Toastmasters, the district I was in used to always give us those pins, lapel pins, and
Mhm.
I got one that said chart your course. It was a big clipper ship with the sails and all, and it said chart your course. So for your DTM, you have to chart your course, figure out which goals you need to complete and when you're going to get them done by. You have to have a game plan. And as you start completing that game plan, you start getting more confident. I'm one step closer. I'm 2 steps closer. In 6 months, I'm going to finish this and I'll be another step closer. That kept me going. Okay. When I went for my first DTM, I went to sleep with that list of what I had to do. If you remember back in those days when you got a CL or CC certificate,
Uh-huh.
they get Toastmasters gave you that white card with the goals to the DTM on the competent communication on one side and
Yes.
competent leadership on the back side. I slept with it. I marked everything down. I You can ask my wife. I slept with it. I knew it inside and out. And when I got my first DTM, I felt so accomplished. I had done something that less than 1% of Toastmasters around the world ever accomplished. Then the second one I took a little longer to get because I wanted to really hone in on the technique.
Yes.
So, so I took maybe a year longer to get the second one. And by the time I got the third one, it was all about helping other people as I was helping myself. And now, um, I would definitely tell people the DTM is worth it. It opens up doors for you if you
Mhm.
be a professional speaker or not. When you mention the DTM, even for a job interview, they want to know what it's about if they don't know. And when you tell
Exactly.
them, okay, that's a plus in your favor because now they can see that you have done these leadership tasks, that you've done this communication thing, that you're dedicated. A dedicated employee is something that everyone's job is looking for. So you're
Mhm.
selling yourself when you sell Toastmasters.
Exactly. And I know
Yeah,
our listeners, if they're not a Toastmaster, DTM means Distinguished Toastmaster. It's the highest honor in the organization.
hmm
And it's a special ceremony, and our DTMs are going, even though they're going to be recognized on the the achievers on the video, we have a special session for them. We have Sereni Voss Sanani, the international director, who's going to be giving a great keynote that evening. And then we're just going to honor. And we have our DTM ceremony chair, who's going to be Cassandra Lee, our past district director. So it's going to be a great evening as well. But the thing is, I want to say to you that I know your session is just going to be amazing because one, like you said, we've been talking about engagement for quite some time for this whole year. And then for you to start thinking about engagement and putting something together, I think that resonates in the Toastmasters community. Imagine how many other districts would probably want to hear that presentation, because right now I had read somewhere that a lot of, how can I say this, renewals have dropped.
Right.
And
right.
What is the reason? Is it the lack of engagement? And so we have to bring the fun back in our clubs, and we have to have a purpose, and we have to have a why. And I always mention this book is Dr. Ralph Smetley's book called Personally Speaking. If you are a Toastmaster, that book is a really thin book, but it really tells you why the organization was even created, how to give effective speeches, how to be poised, how to be a leader, how to be engaged. Engagement's in there too, as well, how to have a fun and engaging club. And if you're not having fun, then you're probably going to have to do the moments of truth and find out where you're weak at.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
Calvin, I want to say thank you for pouring so much insight and heart into this conversation, because I know you are a true ambassador on engagement, and I can already tell your session will be a major highlight of this conference. And it's just been amazing getting to know you. Let's see what our audience is saying. So right now we have Sheila Eatons Brown. She said, congratulations, Calvin. And yep, Sheila Eatons Brown. And she said, my grandmother would say, if you wanted to learn something along with working on hold on for a minute. My grandmother would say, if you wanted to learn something along with working on, keep the material under your pillow when you sleep.
Amen. Amen. That's right.
And she also said hello too.
Yes, Sheila, even when you're not looking at it, you're sleeping on it. So it's transferring, I feel, what you need to your brain. So yes, your grandmother was absolutely correct with that one.
Exactly. And thank you, Sheila, for making some comments, and thank you for being here, and thank you to all that are on here. I also want to, before we wrap up, I cannot forget to thank our amazing in-kind sponsor, Garrett Popcorn Shop, for supporting the 2025 District 103 Toastmasters Annual Hybrid Conference. We want to say thank you for helping us keep it flavor, fun, and unique for Chicago, because we are going to be giving away Garrett Mix popcorn to our attendees. And we want you to take pictures and everything to send it back to Garrett's, because to me, that is a warm in-kind sponsorship for us, because we are true fans of Garrett's popcorn. And then I would like to just give a final, just a thank you to you, Calvin. And you heard the message here. Now it's time to take action. We want you to take action, because you heard it from Calvin Gibbs, the man, DTM3X. And so if you want to see Calvin Gibbs speak on Saturday. Even though we're kicking off on Friday, you have to register today. This is the last week to get your 2-day pass. If you come in as an individual, you come in person or online, it's $55 2-day pass for the 2-day pass. If you come in as a club and you want all your club members to come, it's $225 for clubs to pay for the whole entire club to go. So we really want you to be there, and make sure you order your meals. If your club is paying, your club will not be paying for your meals, but pay for your meals. Join in person, online, get that experience for all the sessions like Calvin that will elevate your leadership journey. The late registration will end this Friday, April 18th at 11:59. Don't miss it. You can visit d103toastmasters.org to register now. And again, everybody applaud, give Calvin a applaud, because one, you are amazing and you gave us some great insights, and we're looking forward to hearing your session.
All right. Thank you, Valerie, so much. And I would just say to everyone, save the date, bring a friend, don't just attend, engage, evolve, and elevate yourself, because your voice deserves a stage. I'll see you there.
Great. See you, everybody.